And then I saw a man, and he said, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, I want to get in, and I can't climb over. He said, "Well, then use the door. There it is." So I walked in, opened the door, and walked in, and there was the garden. And later, when I was in church, I think the first time I went to the church I'm now a member of, there was a picture of Jesus knocking on the door. They were not only atheists, they were very left-wing. My parents were members of the American Communist Party in the 1930s, which is rare. And so their atheism was very strong, very militant, and that's what I grew up with. I assumed that could not be any such thing as God, or it's not possible for there to be a God.
I've heard a lot of scientists, even like Peter Atkins, will say that God is like a lazy explanation. And you're saying that evolution is kind of like a lazy explanation.
Well, at that time, I would have said God was a lazy explanation too. I had no idea what the explanation was. I didn't really know what God was. I didn't understand very much about God. But yeah, I think evolution can explain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some key things that it cannot explain, and that includes the origin of life. And that's not my view. Darwin said the same thing. Richard Dawkins has said the same thing.
Yeah.
The process of evolution that we call Darwinian evolution or biological evolution doesn't deal with the origin of life at all. The general idea among scientists anyway, and the atheist ideas who are not scientists are not worth discussing, but the general scientific idea is that life began through what's called chemical evolution. And chemical evolution is very different from biological evolution because there's no natural selection. And there's no replication.
There's no mutations.
Yeah, what chemical evolution is when you take chemicals, you put them together, and they either react or they somehow are able to do things only on the basis of chemistry, mm-hmm. without any mutation, without any replication, and without any natural selection. That's not how chemistry works. Chemistry, doesn't do things for any reason. Life does things because of natural selection, perhaps, or because of, the way life works, and you can get evolution, but you can't get it started. But I was focusing on one specific aspect, which is critical to the origin of life, to the origin of evolution, and that is the accuracy of self-replication. Because nothing in the universe self-replicates accurately other than living cells. No chemical self-replicates, no machine self-replicates, crystals don't self-replicate, even DNA doesn't self-replicate. But a living cell can make copies of itself that are 99.9999% accurate. That's astonishing. I had not yet read the gospel, that's definite. So I had a dream that I was walking around a garden trying to get in, a walled garden, and I couldn't get in. It was very steep walls, and I kept trying to climb up, and I found vines and little things, but I couldn't get to the top, and I got really frustrated, and I kept going around, and then I saw a man, and he said, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, I want to get in, and I can't climb over. He said, "Well, then use the door. There it is." So I walked in, opened the door and walked in, and there was the garden. And later, when I was in church, I think the first time I went to the church I'm now a member of, there was a picture of Jesus knocking on the door. But I had never heard that knock on the door, and if you knock, it will be open for you. That was... Mm-hmm. I had yet to read that, but I dreamed it.
여러분 안녕하세요. 모달란트입니다. 오늘은 사이가르트 박사님의 신앙 고백 영상을 번역해 보았습니다. 원본 영상에서 박사님은 과학과 신앙은 충돌하지 않는다고 자신있게 이야기합니다. 오히려 기독교적 세계관을 가진 과학자들은 한계를 뛰어넘는 상상력을 가지고 놀라운 연구들을 해낼 수 있다고 조언하기도 하죠. 저는 성경에 대해 전혀 몰랐음에도 하나님을 만난 박사님의 이야기가 정말 흥미로웠습니다. 하나님과의 만남에 조건은 없습니다. 하나님은 언제나 당신의 있는 그대로의 모습을 사랑하시기 때문입니다. 볼지어다 내가 문 밖에 서서 두드리노니 누구든지 내 음성을 듣고 문을 열면 내가 그에게로 들어가 그로 더불어 먹고 그는 나로 더불어 먹으리라.